Hello friends, my name is Renu Parikh and I am Assistant Professor in Biyani Girls College. I am going to take video lecture on key exchange problem in the cryptography on the behalf of Guru KPO. So today I will discuss the encoding techniques and the cryptographic techniques of the symmetric and asymmetric. In last video lecture, I have discussed how to convert the plain text message into the ciphertext message by using the different encoding techniques. So in the technical terms, we called that techniques is the encoding and decoding. So when we convert the plain text message into the ciphertext message, this is called the encoding, and in the reverse process is called the decoding process. So in both techniques we use some algorithms and the keys. So in the encoding and decoding techniques, the algorithms should be the same. So if we are doing encoding technique, the algorithms on the decryption process should be the same, but the key should be kept secret. The algorithm is known to everyone, but the key should be kept secret in the public network so that the message will not be opened by the others. So there are two techniques for the cryptographic: symmetric key and the asymmetric key. Means the key that is using for encoding techniques, there are two methods for that: symmetric key and the asymmetric key. In the symmetric key, in the encryption and the decryption process, we use the same key for both the process. And in the asymmetric key, means in the encryption and the decryption, we use the two types of key. One is public key and another one is the private key. So why we use the two techniques? What is the problem in one techniques? That's why we are using the another techniques. What are the differences between them? What are the algorithms we use? So we will discuss in the next few lectures about that. So today we discuss the key exchange and agreement problem in the symmetric key. So today's focus is on the symmetric key exchange algorithms. So when we talk about the symmetric key algorithm, as I said, one key is the public key is used between the sender and the receiver for the encoding and the decoding process. So in the symmetric key algorithms, the main problem is the key exchange problem, because there is only one key. Suppose the user A wants to send the secret message to the user B, and so how will that message to be sent to the user B? So one technique is first we will take the algorithm to encrypt the process, and another we will use the key. So suppose if the key is used, then how the key will be sent to the receiver? Suppose user A kept that messages into the envelope and apply the lock and send to the receiver. Then receiver, how it will open that envelope? Because receiver also needs the key. So if sender sends the key to the receiver, then there is no security, because the receiver or the mediator can open that messages. So the main problem is that there is the key exchange and agreement problem, how the key will be exchanged if the same key is used for the encryption and the decryption process. So if suppose there are two parties involved for sending the messages, means suppose A and B, so number of lock and key pair is needed 1. And suppose there are three parties involved, means A, B and C, then the number of lock and key pair need 3. And suppose there are 5 parties involved, then the number of lock and key pair required 10. And suppose there are 1000 persons who want to share their lock and key, then there is n into n minus 1 divided by 2, means this type 4,99,500 lock and key pair needs to be required. So it's very huge, because and keeping sequence the lock and key is very difficult. So what is the exact methods we can solve in symmetric key algorithms? So there is the method is Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, and the Diffie and Hellman are the two persons who solve this problem by using the key exchange algorithms. And this key exchange algorithm is only for the key agreement, not for the encoding and decoding techniques. So what is exactly doing the Diffie-Hellman? So suppose there are two numbers n and g, and this n and g numbers are basically public in nature. So let's choose that number n is 11 and g is 7. Suppose there are two users, Alice and Bob. So Alice chooses the large random number x and calculates, suppose A is the mediator number, z raised to power x mod n. Suppose Alice chooses the large random number x is equal to 3. So A is equal to 7 raised to power 3 mod 11 is equal to 2. Now Alice sent this number 2 to Bob. So Bob again chooses the large random number y, that is 6. Suppose this is 6, and again he calculates b g to power y mod n means 4. And again Bob sent this number to Alice. Now Alice will compute the secret key k1. So k1's formula is b raised to power x mod n, and b is the number that is to be sent by the Bob, that is 4, and 4 raised to power 3 mod 11, that is 9. And now Bob again calculate the number secret key k2, because here Alice also will calculate the key and the Bob also will calculate the key. So for the Bob, the formula is a raised to power y mod n, that is 2 raised to power 6 mod 11 equal to 9. Again this is 9, so k1 is 9 and k2 is 9, means they agree on the same value, so that key will be used for keeping the message secret. So k1 is equal to k2. So this is the algorithm, and this is very important algorithm in the symmetric key, because here the sender and receiver have to calculate the same amount of number of the secret key k1 and k2. So this by using this key agreement algorithm, now the symmetric key algorithm will be used. So Diffie-Hellman key exchange will solve the problem of the key exchange algorithm, but there is also problem in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. Suppose there is a man in the middle attack, then how the man who are the middle between the Alice and Bob will steal the information about the key will be discussed. So we discussed about the Diffie-Hellman key exchange, how the two users, means sender and receiver, will agree on the same key and the value of that key will be the same. But there is also problem in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. If there is a man in the middle, man in the middle means if there is a man between the sender and the receiver who wants to access the information about the keys, then that is very difficult to access and use the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. So here I am taking an example. Suppose there are two users again, Alice and Bob, and suppose there is a man in the middle is Tom. So I have already told you about that there is two numbers n and g that will be shared publicly between the Alice and Bob. So first Alice will select the value n and g and send it to the Bob. And suppose there is a man in the middle, that is Tom, who is listening or watching that message. So he will also note down that two numbers n and g. Now Alice will choose the large random number x. Suppose it will choose 3, and Tom is also will choose the two numbers, but it will choose two numbers x and y, because he also wants to access the information of the Bob. So he will choose the two numbers, x is equal to 8 and y equal to 6, and Bob will choose the large random number y, it means 9. Now all the three will calculate the numbers a. So for Alice, a is equal to 2, means g ki power x mod n, that is 2, and Tom will calculate the two numbers a and b, that is g ki power x mod n 9 and 4, and Bob will also calculate the number b 8. So Alice will send this number to Bob and Bob will send this number to Alice, but there is a man in the middle, that is Tom, who will intercept the value that is coming from the Alice, and also it will intercept the value that is coming from the Bob. So Tom will acquire the value from the Alice, that is 2, and b is equal to 8, that is sent by the Bob to the Alice, but they don't know about the Tom because this is a man in the middle attack. So now all three will calculate their keys, mean they will calculate the secret keys. So for Alice, because Tom will intercept the messages and Tom will send the value 4 to the Alice, and this value is calculated by the Tom, not by the Bob. So it will intercept the value 4 and send to the Alice. Now for the Alice, the secret key is 9, and the Alice, earlier Alice has sent the value A to Bob, but Tom will intercept this value and send the 9 instead of 2 to the Bob. So for Bob, the secret key is 5. So, and only Tom knows about the values of the A and B. Now it will calculate the keys. K1 is 5 and K2 is 9. So all the three knows, only Tom and Bob knows their separate keys, but about the Tom they don't know, and Tom knows about the secret keys K1 and K2. So it will automatically hike the messages that is to be sent between the Tom and Bob, between the Alice and Bob. So in this way, this is the main problem in the key exchange algorithm, where the man in the middle will acquire the information about the user and the sender. So how these problem will be solved? This problem will be solved by using the asymmetric key operation. In the asymmetric key operation, the user and sender basically uses the two keys, public key and the private key. So sender basically sends the lock and the public key to the receiver, so that the receiver who wants to send the secret message to the sender will lock by the public key and again send this messages to the sender. Now sender will use her private key and will open the message and get access that messages. So in the asymmetric key operation, we are using the two keys, public and private, and in the symmetric key we are using only the public key. And we have discussed about how the key exchange algorithm will be solved with the Diffie-Hellman, and what is the problem in the Diffie-Hellman means in the man in the middle. In the next video lecture, we will discuss about the symmetric key algorithms and asymmetry algorithms. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe on my YouTube channel on the behalf of Guru KPO. Thank you.